Good morning, Wildcats. I'm Olivia Bontempo.
And I'm Larson Normark, and you're watching WCAT Weekly News.
This week marks the return of all Wildcats back on campus. I sure am happy to be at school with all my M through Z friends. With everyone back, lunchtime can be hectic. Remember, 9th and 11th graders are to eat in Malone or the tent by the stadium, while 10th and 12th graders can eat inside of the Parker Center in Turner or Hawkins Hall.
Mr. Batchelor is checking IDs in Hawkins to gather data on high traffic times and to make sure we have enough food for the seniors at the end of the period. Ever wondered where other Wildcats like to hang out?
My favorite spot on campus is definitely inside Hawkins or on senior patio. What about you, Larson?
I also love the new Hawkins patio. What a great place for students to hang out. WCAT's Mary Locke Speed has more on students' favorite spots on campus to hang out.
We're so excited to have everyone back on campus, but that means it's more important than ever to make sure we stay spread out. We surveyed some students to find out the best places to hang out on campus.
My favorite place to hang out on campus is Turner.
My favorite place to hang out on campus is the basement of Campbell.
We like to hang out in the bottom floor of Campbell.
My favorite place to hang out on campus is Turner Gym.
Okay, my favorite spot is probably either here at the Shoe Shine or on Spatio, but like when underclassmen aren't out there.
Thanks, guys. It sounds like the new buildings are a big hit, and Spatio is too for the underclassmen. I'm Mary Locke Speed with WCAT. Now back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Mary Locke. Make sure to check out some of these popular spots around campus. One spot in particular that everyone should check out is the new art exhibit in Broyles right now, the Wonder Camera exhibit. Curious? Well, here's WCAT's Emma Turton with more.
Thanks so much. You guys should definitely come check out the Cabinet of Curiosities exhibit currently in Broyles Art Center. Work includes contributions from a variety of different classes ranging from art to science. Ms. Martinez gave us a little bit more information on this exhibit.
So we designed this exhibition around this idea of a cabinet of curiosity. What does that even mean, right? Like here in the art department, we have this room that has all these really cool objects in it. We purchase, like, sometimes we'll go thrifting, sometimes we'll, go to just like interesting stores and purchase objects that are for our students to get inspiration. So when you walk into the exhibition, we wanted you to feel like you could never see it all, so that you would have to keep coming back. You're going to see drawings, you're going to see drawings of the objects from the room that we have in the art department. You're going to see sculptures, all related around this idea of being curious.
Be sure to check out the exhibit. Now back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Emma, and your producer, Helen Reardon. From art to the big screen, Westminster alum Kathleen Jordan has just released her new Netflix show, Teenage Bounty Hunters. WCAT's Namisha Iyer is watching closely.
Westminster alum Kathleen Jordan has produced and created her own TV show on Netflix, Teenage Bounty Hunters. I got the chance to interview Kathleen herself and ask her about her TV show. I also interviewed Mr. Morgan and Dr. Hunter to ask about her time at Westminster.
I will tell you that I still remember Kathleen wrote the best single line of poetry I've ever read by a high school student. And the best part of it was when she brought it to me, the poem that it was in was not very good, but the line was one of the best lines I've ever read. She had a great sense of humor. She had a wicked laugh, and she had this kind of twinkle and sparkle in her eye that you knew something was coming.
Excellent writer and funny in a way that was often super impressive, like kind of a mature humor. So it does not surprise me that she has been so successful with this TV show.
It doesn't surprise me at all that she has a little edgy show on Netflix right now.
Kathleen revealed that her show is about two Christian girls who rebel against their conservative community. Her inspiration for the show came from her high school experiences at Westminster. She said that the show sort of revolves around her time at Westminster, and that the main character in some ways resembles how she wishes she had been in high school. From what I've heard, the show is a great watch, so be sure to go check out Teenage Bounty Hunters on Netflix. I'm Namisha Iyer, now back to you in the studio.
From our alumni filmmakers to our student cinematographers 2 Studio W short films have been selected for the 2020 All-American High School Film Festival in New York City. Studio W is Westminster's student-run film production team. Check out Marked, a sci-fi drama that tells the story of a teenager's descent into darkness, and Disowned, a drama film exploring the tense relationship between a boy, his father.
So these are completely Westminster student-run productions, written by, directed by, shot by, edited by Westminster students. All the actors are Westminster students as well, with the exception of a few adults. And hopefully, at least the plot of Marked will remind you of better times before quarantine, because the plot's all about a high school adventure.
Okay, so how are we doing this?
Senior Aziz Hashaki has been doing everything he can to help out during these hard times. WCAT's Evie Ernest has more on Aziz's efforts with local homeless shelters and nonprofit organizations.
Senior Aziz Hashaki has taken on quite the initiative this year to help give back to our community. Aziz began his community service in India 3 years ago, first with a project with providing food staples for people who don't have access to food during the month of Ramadan. The second part of his project contributed by building carts for vendors to help move their goods and provide them with transportation. Building off of these startups, the next stage of his project connected his work in India back to the Atlanta community.
The third part of the project is impacting the women in this village, because unfortunately a lot of the women in this village are actually widowed. To try and help this population, what we did is we've been building sewing machines for them. Like not only that, since they don't know actually how to stitch, we've been providing stitching lessons for them so that they can they can have a repeatable revenue stream. The fourth part of my project, when the pandemic hit, I wanted to try and tie back this project I'd been working on in India back to the United States. So what I did was I realized that, these women have been stitching garments and selling actual clothes to the village. They could definitely stitch masks if we provide the proper materials. So what I did was I used the same contact, and we figured out a whole process so that I could get the fabric delivered to the people that stitched, and they could stitch the mask and then send it back to the States. And because of that, I was able to raise a bunch of money and get this whole production going and donate masks to the homeless shelters in the Atlanta area.
Aziz has been hard at work continuing the mass production of these masks. If you would like to support his cause or learn more about the people he is helping, you can visit his website or his GoFundMe, both linked in the description box. His website includes a short film explaining his project, and the donations allow him to get more masks in circulation to donate back to the Atlanta homeless shelters.
Thanks, Evie. It is great to see the ways in which Westminster's students are working hard to make a difference in our community during these times. Here on campus, check in with Meg and James for upcoming volunteer opportunities like online tutoring and mentoring. Now, here's a quick message from your co-chairs.
Hey Wildcats, it's great to see you guys back on campus after such a long weekend. Just a quick reminder to eat at your assigned lunch times and at the correct times, just so we can shorten the lunch lines and so everybody has a place to sit on campus. And, I was going to wrap up with a joke, but I decided it was just terrible.
Thanks, Jenna. Also, remember to eat in the official lunch spaces for your grade. Also, make sure to bring your student ID with you wherever you go, and dolphinately go support your sports teams in their upcoming games and meets in the next week. Also, it would be shellfish if you didn't use the one-way stairs. Anyway, see you next week, and go Cats!
Thanks, Connor and Jenna. Now here's WCAT's James Carr with this week's sports.
Thanks, Olivia. The varsity girls volleyball team defeated Walker Monday night, winning 3-0. The team has adjusted well to mask play and several other safety rules. The Volley Cats play tonight against Blessed Trinity.
Yeah, I mean, practices are going pretty well. I mean, we're getting a lot better with playing with masks, and we're pretty used to it by now, so they feel pretty regular.
You can watch live on WCAT. The varsity girls cross country team will have their first meet this Saturday at Carrollton, which will be the site of the state meet.
We're really excited for the Carrollton meet. It's going to be our first official meet of the year where we race on the weekend, and it's also we're going to race in state later, hopefully. So yeah, we're just really excited to get the chance to run against some competitors. It's going to be great.
The varsity boys cross country team had their first meet this past Saturday at Starrs Mill High School, where they placed second. The team continues to adjust to new safety procedures.
We had a great meet at Starrs Mill. It was our first away meet of the year. The boys did really well. Second place for varsity, first place JV. A little different, wearing masks and all. We're allowed to sort of pull them down while we're actually running, but everyone did a really great job. We had like 4 or 5 guys under 17. Everyone's working hard in practices, so far, great start to the season.
The boys also run at Carrollton this Saturday with the girls. The varsity football team will practice in the new stadium this Friday. This will be the first time any team has played on the new field. The Cats are gearing up for their first game on September 25th at Pace, and WCAT hopes to bring you live coverage. The varsity softball team will be playing Pace away this Friday. Good luck, Batcats. And that will do it for this week's sports updates. Now back to you in the studio.
Thanks, James. That's all for this week. We hope everyone has enjoyed being back on campus together while distanced. I'm Olivia Bontempo.
And I'm Larson Normark. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on WCAT Weekly News.